Hey, flock. Billy here. I'm coming from you live from our Sunday school classroom. As you can see, none of you are here. We're still dealing with the coronavirus. I know you guys are practicing social distancing, and I hope your family hasn't driven you crazy yet with the week y'all spent together. But trust me, it's all going to be okay. Just keep washing your hands. Everything's going to be fine. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch with you guys. I've actually been doing a bunch of videos for my band kids so I can keep them engaged and, as Tina said, engaged with their lessons and trying to make sure that they're doing their virtual education. So I thought I'd take some time just to do a video for you guys, and in that way you can maybe share some comments down in the section below. Tell me what's going on. If you have some prayer requests you want to throw in there, feel free to go ahead and do it. I do have a nice lesson series planned for you guys, so the rest of the lessons may be coming live from my house. But for this one, we're going to be talking about going into the unknown. And before we dive into our lesson, I thought we'd go through our prayer board. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to ask anybody to lead us in prayer or anything. I'm going to let the prayer requests just scroll through. Take the time to pray for at least one person on that list or everybody on the list. And just kind of take the time to just meditate on how great God is and how good He's been to us, and realize that even this time of unknown, He's still going to be here with us. So I'll get back with you guys as soon as we get done with the prayer list.
In the darkest hour, when I cannot breathe, fears on my chest, the weight of the world on me. Everything's crashing down, everything I've known. When I wonder if I'm all alone, I remember, you have always been faithful to me. I remember, even when my own eyes could not see, you were there.
All right, so let's dive into our lesson today. I tried to make it too long because I know you guys probably have a lot going on, trying to keep the house in order with most of you having a bunch of kids running around. But we are going to dive into a lesson series. I have about 2 or 3 lessons just lined up for you guys for this one. So this is a lesson series that I'm calling Into the Unknown. So check this out. This is for you, Adam.
Into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown.
I know Adam's a huge fan of that arrangement, so I want to make sure I throw that in there for you, buddy. So make sure you get to listen to the song on repeat over and over again, because I'm sure Nicole's going to love it. So we're talking about going into the unknown, and right now we are just kind of in a state of flux of what's going on. There's so much stuff we're just not used to, and we just don't know. We don't know a lot about really the coronavirus. We don't know a lot about like what's going on with our schools. How long are our kids going to be out? It's unknown if some of you will even get to go back to work. It's unknown about what is self quarantine and self distancing. What all this stuff's going on. What's next? I mean, there's just so much that we consider to be unknown, and it's kind of driving us crazy. I guarantee it is. Um, Maybe some of you have an unknown fear about the unknown of what's going on with church. We're doing church online. Thank God we have technology that we can still stay in touch with each other. But what's church going to be like moving forward? Um, I know there's a lot of people right now who just have this whole unknown feeling about where's God in all this? What's going on? Sometimes it's kind of hard to hear God speak when you have all this craziness just going on around you. But the person I thought about when I first think about who had to deal with the unknown more than anything, there's a lot of characters in the Bible that dealt with the unknown. It was all about just diving in and going after it. But when I first started thinking about who was one of the first big characters who went into the unknown, and it made me automatically think of Joshua. Now, just for those of you who don't know who Joshua was the person who took over after Moses. So, there was this big plan when they first went to the wilderness, and Moses was God's man, and he was going to lead them to the promised land. And then eventually Moses told you, you're not going to get to go, Moses. God had to inform him of that. So when Moses finally left, all these people were like, what's going on? Who are we going to turn to? And it landed on Joshua. And Joshua was this young man who was Moses number two. And now he is the one who has to take everyone into the promised land. So, there was a lot of unknowns what's going on. We're crossing into a area that we just don't know. Can they trust Joshua? I mean, Joshua must have been a pretty cool guy for everybody to kind of trust to go, but he's not Moses. And that's kind of where we are right now. Can we really do this church thing virtually? It's not what we're used to. It's not our normal thing. It's so different that it has a lot of us scared. But just imagine, the Israelites had to go from what they were used to something brand new. And it was someone new that they didn't even know leadership wise what they could do, but they all jumped behind them and they decided to go into the promised land. And we know how it all works out for them. But one of my favorite scriptures from Joshua's story comes from Joshua chapter 1, and this is verse 9. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this before. And this is God speaking, saying, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." I know it's different for us. I know it's something that we're going to have to get used to. As Catherine would say, this might be the new normal, and we're going to be fine because God is going to make sure it works out. He's at work. You may not realize that he's at work. God is at work, and it's not for us to question what he's working for. We know that in the end, it's going to be explained. And as I told you guys in one of the lessons we talked about when the Israelites were taken to Babylon, and God said, I have a plan. It's going to work out. And they had to wait, what was it, 40 years before they could actually figure it out? I mean, was it 40, 50 years? It was a plan that was going to bring their children back. And that was like a big, crazy thing to have to wrap their minds around. We don't know what God's doing. We don't know what his plans are right now. But our goal right now is to band together, trust each other, and just be the family of faith that we are and move forward courageously. There's no need for us to be afraid because God's going to be with us. If he can take this young leader who's not Moses and take this group of people, and you remember what the Israelites were, a lot of them were kind of difficult to deal with. If he can take these people and move them forward into the promised land, God's going to take us there too. So I want to leave you with this thought before I let you go. And this is from Joyce Meyer, and she did devotion talking about Joshua. And I really like this little paragraph that she wrote. "Instead of being afraid of new things, you and I ought to be excited about new challenges and opportunities that arise in our lives. Even when everybody else tells us it's impossible, if we will step out in faith like Joshua and follow God, he will give us the grace to go forward." This week, think about Joshua. Think about how God wants you to step out. Now, obviously, he does not want you to step out and invade someone's bubble doing the social distancing. Reach out to someone through social media. Give them a phone call. Shoot them an email. Make sure you're chatting with each other. Do what you need to do to make sure that as a community of faith, we are staying together and we're stepping out into this new challenge. That, maybe this is our chance to show God that we don't have to rely so much on what we used to do, that we are a family of faith that can take on any challenge head on and adapt to what's going on. Because, this might be the new normal. This might be our thing for a little while. So make sure that you're stepping out in faith and realize, how can I get involved? My favorite was when Andy was talking about doing porch visits. There's nothing wrong doing porch visits. We don't have a porch at our house. We do garage time. And so my mom and my dad came over for a little bit, and we did some garage time with some nice distance between all of us and just chatted for a little bit. Do what you got to do to make sure as a family of faith we are sticking together and we're all going to get through this. I hope you take the time to visit the YouTube videos that our staff's putting up. And I'll put a little link or something, somewhere up here that tells you where to go. Go to our church website. Make sure that you're checking out all the update stuff of what's going on. There's going to be a really good service today, especially the guest singer they have coming in. She's killing it, so I think you guys will enjoy that. But you guys should have my number. So if you need anything, shoot me a text. You need someone just to drop by and say hey so you can see a different face. If your kids are driving you crazy, let me know. Me and Sadie can do that during the week. I'm a first grade teacher now, so getting a break from the house might be worth it a little bit. Make sure you wash your hands for 20 seconds, then wash them again to be sure. Put on some hand sanitizer. Why not do double duty just to make sure we're being safe? Make sure you stay in prayer for all the people who are having to work with these people with the coronavirus. I know Tina is one person that comes to mind. those are the people that are going to help us get through this, and making sure that we're praying for them and hoping they stay safe. It's going to be great. So if you guys need anything, contact me. If not, I hopefully we'll have another one ready for you by the end of the week, and I'll post it where you guys can get to it. Till then, love you, mean it. See you later, flock.